Man, I was in the mountains last week and I walked past, I think it was at A&W, and they had all day breakfast right out in like neon letters right on I was like, I was a little bit high. So it took me, I was like, whoa, that's
You're like,
ours.
hold on, looks familiar.
Yeah. Yeah. The mountains are amazing, man. I went to Marmot Basin,
Yeah, how was it?
Jasper. So good. Perfect
Yeah,
conditions. I went during the week, so there was no lineups, no nothing. It was just like,
did you roll solo?
yeah, yeah, it was
Nice.
dope, man. I was like, I had to take a few breaks. I had to take a few breaks. The old legs weren't. I found out I hadn't skied in the mountains or snowboarded in the mountains for like 7-8 years, something like that.
Yeah.
But it was so nice to like get back, like get kind of be in the mountains and do mountain shit.
Yeah.
Even though like everything, actually I was gonna say even though everything's closed, but I was like things were like only sort of closed.
Yeah, how was Martin? Because when I was there, so I went with Brent Ayton, comedian Brent
Mm-hmm.
Ayton. Uh, we went for like a day, but it was in between Christmas and New Year's, so it was like crazy busy. We were like, oh, we're gonna go on a Monday, it'll be fine.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like it was insane busy, and like people were bumping into me and shit. And I was like, get your COVID away from me.
Yeah. So when I was there, like for example, I don't think I waited more than like 2-3 minutes to get on the chair.
Damn,
My
in
favorite,
Marmot too.
my favorite part about COVID is solo chairlifts, man. Oh,
Yeah,
beautiful.
dude, it's the best because like I don't know like how much or how long you've been shredding mountains for,
Hmm.
but there are some people who still put up a stink when you want to smoke the marijuana
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
and drink of the beers.
Yeah.
So whenever you get a gondola and you get a gondola to yourself, you're like, yeah, nice. We can fucking smoke and drink beers and not get like wind in our face and it'll suck, which it says all over it not to do, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't make the rules. I just break them.
Yeah. There you go.
So whatever. And now you can just get in your gondola and you're like, this is my gondola. No one's
This is
allowed in.
mine. COVID. Get
Don't touch
back.
me.
Get
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
One guy asked if he could get on my chair, and I was like, I'd prefer to go alone.
You should have said, get away from me, you sick,
Yeah.
infected freak.
No. But
Never.
it was amazing. I didn't fall. The two days on the hill didn't wipe out, which is that used to be a trademark of. So I think I'm a more mature skier now.
Nice. Yeah, I
I
was
did
gonna say
end
it
up
sounds like
on
you
one
didn't have that much
sketchy.
fun.
What's that?
It sounds like you didn't have that much fun.
Well, no, I didn't want to, not bailing is just a
Yeah.
great, yeah, it was solid, man. But I found out
Where
that
did you
on the
end
on the
up?
weekends, it's like lined up down the road, like it's so hard to get in. So I was
Yeah.
super happy I went during the week.
Yeah, where you were gonna say you ended up somewhere sketchy, which do you know which part of the mountain?
Oh, no. But I was like
Did you
going down a blue, and I think I was like not sure whether I'm supposed to keep going straight or go to the right. And I went to the right, and I noticed the people that were on the trail behind me like weren't behind me anymore, and I was like, "Fuck!" So I had this really like I made it down, but I was like, "Oh man, that was that was a little bit more intense than I was after." But oh man, it was so good. It was so good.
nice. Yeah,
And dude, check this out: a deer hit my car on the drive down. I'm driving.
nice.
I'm driving. It's like 6 in the morning, dark out, down the highway, and I see a group of deer, whatever you call a group of deer,
Yeah, a
on the side of the
gaggle of
highway.
deer
And
or
so
whatever.
I'm driving, and I'm just like, oh damn, there's some deer. And I wasn't really, I didn't really slow down. I was kind of like, okay, well, they're on the side of the road. Like, I don't know what you're supposed to do in that situation. And as I pass them, a deer darts out and like headbutts the side of my car, the door behind me. And
Oh my god.
I'm like, oh my God. So I pull over.
Suicide.
Yeah, I pull over. My car is fine. There's no dents or anything. There's a big clump of hair like lodged into the window. I'm just like, oh my God. I don't know if it was okay or whatever, but like, cause I was just like way up the road. Someone stopped back way back there to check on it, and hopefully it was fine, or maybe it ran away or whatever. But oh my God, dude, like, it just rocked the side of my car. I was like, the trip could have been over at 6 a.m.
Yeah, had that been like a 1 second earlier, that's fucking bing right to the front of the car.
Yeah. Well, that's like when I heard the impact, I was like, did I hit it? What? Like,
did I kill it?
And then to explain to people that a deer hit my car, they're like, you mean you hit a deer with your car? And I'm like, no, like it hit my car, man.
I was past it. I was already past it.
It left a clump of hair in the back. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. It was crazy, man.
That's so funny. I had a much less adventurous fucking weekend in the mountains.
You were back in the mountains.
Yeah. I went again. I got a real snowboard trip in for the first time this year.
Nice. Where'd you go?
I went to Louise again, actually. So my manager at the old Lube and Dump is he's a ski bum. He was like a lifty in Whistler for like years. So one of his lifty buddies was like, yo, I'm fucking at Costco. Do you want to go to the mountains? Like, I'm buying these passes. So they just bought like the Costco like 2-pack passes.
Yeah.
He texted me, he's like, hey, we have one more spot, like, you want to come? So we busted down, stayed the night in the hostel, and then we went and shredded all day. And it was like these two dudes who were lifties in Whistler for years. So I was like, yo, these guys will actually shred. And so we went like hard, like big tree runs, like ripping. It was pretty sick.
That's wicked. One of my cousins works at Louise, and he was like, we should do like a cousin trip before the winter's over. Now that I've been out once, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Bro, come for my birthday. My birthday's March 6th.
March 6th?
I'm going for like that weekend, whatever it is, like the 5th, 6th, 7th, or whatever the fuck. I'm probably going to go to Sunshine.
Damn. But now I hear all these horror stories about weekends, though, that they sound so bad.
Oh,
like
whatever.
So busy and like so.
I don't even know. We'll check the dates. Let's not talk about this on the podcast.
Yeah, okay. It's not even a live podcast in Sunshine.
Like, so, dude. Okay, so I had a really weird. So first of all, I hope they don't listen to this. This was so funny. This dude, I don't like harbor resentment, and I hope that he doesn't either. But this was just like a whole funny experience. So, do you know the bagel shop in fucking Canmore?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the Rocky Mountain Bagel Company.
Right.
Yeah, so everyone always wants to go to this fucking place. Every time I go to Canmore, which is all the fucking time because I snowboard a lot. So I'm there like multiple times a year, but everyone else always like the trip they come on with me is like their one trip to the mountains or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Everyone always wants to go to this goddamn bagel shithole. And so every single time I go to Canmore, someone's girlfriend or like whoever is like, oh, we have to go to the Rocky Mountain Bagel place. And I'm like, guys, we have to drive back from our hotel into downtown. Then we hit the bagel place with every single other person who had this exact same idea as us, pay fucking $15 for a bagel and $7 for a fucking coffee. And then we get on the road and then we drive past 2 Tim Hortons fucking half an hour later down the road. Yeah. Like we're already late. And then we hit the fucking hill. And guess what? Now that we're not here early, we have to park far away. So now we have to get all of our shit out of the car and walk an extra distance to go down and stand in a big fucking lineup to get our ski passes. So we don't actually end up hitting the hill till like fucking 11 a.m. every single fucking time. I'm like, why did we get up at 7 a.m.? Why the fuck did we even wake up at 7 a.m. if we had to drive back downtown to hit fucking bagel? I might as well just slept till 11, hopped on one of the fucking buses and came with the rest of the fucking tourists. But instead, I have to go to the shithole bagel place.
That makes me think about our conversation. That makes me think about our conversation about if people in the mountains get sick of it. Like, you want to fucking go to, okay. But dude, check this out. When I was in Jasper, I went to Jasper Place Brewing and I was sitting at the bar talking to the bartender. And I was like, so did you grow up here? And he's like, actually, yeah, I did grow up in Jasper. And I was like, man, me and my buddy were wondering like, what's it like growing up in what's like Jasper High School like? He said it's basically just like a bunch of like, for the most part, a bunch of like, it's super a bubble that you're living in, and it's like hockey players or ski or snowboarders, because you can only do one or the other because they're both on the weekend. But I was like, oh shit, I'm meeting someone like grew up in this like tourist town. Like that's so weird. Shout out to
man.
Jasper Place though. Those or Jasper Brewing. That it was good stuff.
Yeah, bro.
They said they said come do comedy there. So let's go do a live podcast down there.
Yeah, man. Deal. Fuck yeah. I'm in.
Nice.
Okay, so we go to this fucking bagel place, and then I'm like, dude, I'm not paying. I'm just not doing it. I'm not paying this much for a bagel. I'm not doing it. So this other dude who was rolling with us was also like, yeah, dude, I'm not paying this for a fucking bagel. So we go, and then we have to make a stop at Tim Hortons. And then the Tim Hortons ends up like taking a while. And this dude is in like the front seat freaking out about how long it's taking to go to the Tim Hortons. And I was like, bro, why are we at the Tim Hortons that's in the Safeway? Why didn't we go to the one that was a drive-through on the side of the highway instead of driving back downtown to go to the fucking bagel shop and then go to the Tim Hortons in the Safeway in the first place? And then we get up and we're fucking, it's windy as fucking balls.
Oh, really?
And so we're going up and and so we're going up the chairlift. Again, against my discretion. We're taking the chairlift up because it's faster. I'm like, guys, it's windy as fucking balls, and I want to get to the back face. So I don't mind standing in line if we get to fucking ride the gondola up, and then we get the back face in the valley where the wind doesn't fucking hit us, and we're just gonna have all this bullshit blow over powder to come over and hang out in the valley. We're not gonna get the wind coming from the thing. I've ridden this mountain like 1,000 fucking times. And they're like, no, it's faster to get in the line and go over. I was like, yes, technically it takes less time, but you have to sit on a fucking chairlift getting fucking snow in your goddamn face.
Oh, getting blasted by the wind, yeah.
Yeah, because you're on like the front face of Lake Louise sucks, dude. If you ever go to Lake Louise, don't bother being on the front face unless you have like the perfect conditions. The front face of Lake Louise is like in the middle, or like not in the middle. It's like kind of at the end of the valley. So like where the lake is, you know, that big valley picture that everyone takes on the fucking lake behind the chateau. So the mountain faces that. So there's the huge valley. And so all the wind comes in, tunnels through where the fucking lake is and blows all the snow off the front face of the mountain. It's just like a rocky bullshit fucking face of the mountain. Then you get to over to the other side and they have two faces that are covered in all the snow that blew over from the front face. Nice. Everyone spends all day on the front face because it's easiest to get to.
Do they have greens and blues on the back face?
Yeah, they've got everything. They got big snaky long runs that are easy to get.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like going like taking a hike and doing some off-road shit.
No. Like they have chairlifts back there and everything. There's a chalet on the backside, but everyone's just like too scared. Exactly that, because they don't want to go down the gully and through the little like vein part that you have to go through, which isn't even fast. It's just long, and everyone freaks out about it. And it's like, bro, just follow me and we'll be fine. And this dude's like fucking around with his backpack after complaining about how long it's taken at Tim Hortons. I'm like, guy, let's fucking get on the goddamn lift and shut the fuck up and go snowboarding. And so we get up to the top and there's like no visibility and wind is blowing ever. And I'm like, this is about to be the worst day of my fucking life. Like, oh. And then we get down and we drop off the backpack. And like I said, we get in the valley and we get all the nice snow and the wind like lifts up. So it's just like gently like snowing down on us. And we rip for like hours. And I had like one of the best days of snowboarding I've had in years. And I was like, nice. Fuck yeah. This was way better than the morning indicated it was going to be.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, that's
Yeah, it was pretty fucking fun.
Yeah, I just had a thought when I was out there too, like, because obviously I got a little stoned when I was on the hill, and I was like, man,
what? James?
Never forget that in 1998, Canadians were all genuinely surprised that our like gold medalist snowboarder smoked weed.
Yeah.
Now you'd be like, well, yeah, that's. But in 1998, everyone's like, it's like, come on.
It was like,
didn't see the signs for that.
The same reaction. And the same reaction as when Michael Phelps did it. You're like, okay, what?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, oh, all right.
Like, have you ever been on a mountain? Like, there's no skunks in the winter.
Yeah.
It's not skunk.
Yeah, guess what, guys? Oh man,
I
that's
can show
awesome.
you all the good places on the mountain to smoke weed in. I can show you all the little tree spots.
Yeah, I was
Less
well, I was
wind.
sketched out. I was like, oh, how can I like when should I do this? But I did it on the second chair where there was like less people.
Yeah, I just
Because there's
smoke weed
signs
at
everywhere,
all
and I was
times.
like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's so funny. I don't know. It's literally most of the lifties. Like if you just are like, "Hey," and they're like, "How's it going?" You're like, "Pretty high." And they're like, "Nice." Like they don't
Nice.
care. They're like, "Same."
See, yeah, probably. Yeah, that looks like an interesting
Yeah, I
job.
fucking dude, I can't imagine what that life is like. Like I thought about doing. I actually wanted to go bartend in one of the like mountain resort, like go bartend at Lake Louise was where I
Oh
wanted to
yeah.
go apply or shoot my application. But basically, I was like, yeah, I just can't take a winter off of stand-up comedy. But turns out I had to fucking do that anyways. So
Well,
I
my
should have
my
just done it a couple of years ago.
yeah, my cousin was like, "This is the best." Like I'm working out here for the winter, and like no one else can do anything, but here I am.
Mhm.
I was like, "Hell yeah, man!"
Yeah, I should have started applying as a bartender in fucking lake, like fucking mountain resorts.
Yeah. Well,
But I didn't know we were going to get locked down again as of November 22nd. I was in fucking Vancouver about to do stand up comedy.
yes,
Yeah, but
yes,
that's
the
okay.
before times, the sort of
In
before
other
times.
news,
Yes,
I got accepted to school.
yes, Alex, the student. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I have to. I'm back in the establishment, baby. Let's go.
Yes,
I got in through a loophole, so that was good.
a
That's how you want
loophole.
to start. Yeah, you know it. No, it's super funny actually. The lady who I've been dealing with over like email about my application always sends these like attachments of like her like headshot. I don't know if it's her headshot or what,
Oh,
but it's
really?
like this picture of like this kooky looking old lady at the end of every email just looking at me like, hey, like, yeah, I know. Like I think it's just like attached on her signature, but it's funny because it comes every single time, just like this little headshot of this little old lady in a sweater. But yeah, so basically the program is supposed to be like a post grad degree. I don't know. It had very vague like application standards.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was looking at them, there was a bunch of stuff. I was basically bored one day in the middle of COVID, like trying to figure out what the fuck to do with my whole goddamn life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like checking out different like writing, like
Oh, you went muted, buddy. Why does this happen to you all the time? How come sometimes you're talking and then all of a sudden your mute goes on? Do we need to talk about this?
oh, here we
There
go.
you are. Why does that happen?
Where did we cut off? I don't know.
Uh,
Well, honestly, it's because I have bad internet, probably.
yeah, but that doesn't
Okay.
make sense. Well,
So,
yeah, you were
anyways, I
talking
was
about the
looking at
kooky
these
lady,
fucking
and
things,
you were bored and you were doing
and
stuff.
so I stumbled upon this thing that was like Algonquin College in Ontario, like has a script writing, and it was 1 year, and I was like, yo, that's perfect. Like comedy's not going to be up till fucking 2022 anyways. Like we have to wait for the economy to bounce back enough for people to be emptying their wallets to go see a fucking dickhead talk about his wiener. Like it's not going to happen as soon as we open back up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
like we got to wait for all that. So I was like, well, I might as well do something to advance my career. And I didn't want to go to business school because that's for squares. And I can business schools for squares. Dude, have you ever met a dude who's like, I'm a business school, and you were like, oh wow, this
Yeah.
guy seems fun.
Is that why you're wearing a suit to class?
Yeah, exactly. Like, why are you wearing, bro? It's fucking college. Half of us are hungover. Why are you wearing a 3-piece suit? Fucking Barney Stinson, relax. So the guy who played him was gay. The whole thing was ironic, you dipshit. Anyways, so, anyways, yeah, I didn't want to go to business school. And so I fucking was just like lurking around, and there was one in Calgary that sounded stupid. It was like 3 2-week programs that were like $1,000 each. I was like, this is dumb. And so
Wow.
this one has like at the end of it, at the end of it, it says you go to Toronto for major production and entertainment companies. So you like pitch to production and entertainment companies.
Oh.
So like I can't imagine that doesn't just mean like, okay, you can go to fucking CBC and Much Music and throw a script at them.
Yeah.
So I had shit in the works anyways, like scripts that I had just like ideas for. I was like, well, I might as well learn the formatting and the business end of all this during the pandemic instead of just sitting on my ass doing nothing. So yeah, I'm probably going to move to a little French town right outside of Ontario to practice my frog. And yeah, there's a little place called Gatineau. And my mom told me
Gatineau?
about it, actually. I was telling her, yeah, Gatineau, Quebec. So yeah, in Gatineau, there's it's like, I don't know for sure, but this is what my mom was telling me, that like it's like White Ave to downtown, like to Jasper Ave. It's like you just hop a fucking river, and it's like that's
Nice.
the one side, like the edge of Gatineau to the edge of whatever. So there's a place called like the Hull, like HUL, I don't know. And apparently a bunch of like college kids stay there from Ottawa in like this little community in Gatineau. I was like, whatever, I'll go into the fucking grocery store and practice my comment ça va's.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, yeah. Get a little maybe find a French lady who'll do freaky things in the bedroom. That's what I've heard about them.
Oh,
and,
well, that's intense.
I'll teach her how to shave her mustache, and she
Oh
can teach me how
boy,
to do
here we go.
flexible things.
Here we go with stereotype, but you're one of them, so you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, that's right. This is one time in my life I've been allowed to just go ham on the stereotypes.
Yeah.
And you bet I'm going to be rolling into that town with a fucking baguette and like a little fucking hat, one of those bicycles with a big wheel, like, mon ami, comment ça va?
Yeah.
Tu veux une cigarette? Like, what are you going to do? I speak as much French as you do, bitch. Get the fuck out of my last name is Fortin. I belong here, motherfucker. Let's go. I'm going to get every single type in the goddamn world. I'm going to be a bûcheron. I'm going to start making my own maple syrup. I'm going to start tapping maple trees while I'm out there.
Ooh, tapping maple trees. Yes. Yes. You got it all
Milfs and
planned
maple
out.
trees. That's what I'm going to be tapping in Gatineau, Quebec. Look out, baby.
Start an OnlyFans and call it that. Milfs and maple trees. And it's just you hooking up with people, and also you like shirtless like, tapping maple trees. Yeah.
Very
but just like you like
and carefully.
Yeah, doing your thing. I think you should. I think
be very scientific.
You're gonna need to support yourself through school.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to take these student loans. I don't want to owe Trudeau no more dollars. So
Trudeau.
I'm gonna have to be tapping maple trees and MILFs for money, I guess.
I guess so, man. But you know, that sounds like a good script you could write.
Yeah. That's actually, do you know what's funny is the reason I went on this whole rabbit hole was because I had like an idea for a script, and I was like, well, what do I do with this? Like, what is the point of having the idea for the script? I've had
right.
Like I've had three. Whenever I talk to someone, this is funny. I remember I was with a stand-up comedian at the World Series of Comedy, just whatever, some guy. And we were doing this like joke writing exercise, and the dude on stage was like, all right, write me a joke. And the guy was like, wrote one, wrote another one, wrote another one. I was like, none of those are ever going to be funny. Like, what do you mean? You didn't just write 3 jokes in 15 seconds. Like, shut the fuck up, bro.
Yeah.
So like whenever I hear people who are like, man, I could totally be a Hollywood scriptwriter. Like, I've had a million ideas for scripts. Like, bro, I think about scripts all the time. Like, I got ideas coming out the ass. I'm like, bro, they're probably all bad, and there's no reason. But I have like 3 ideas for real scripts that I'm like, no, these would actually be good. These are ideas. I have characters and plots and development. Like, I have
it's beyond an idea. Theme. It's beyond an idea. It's a full out. It's a map of a story.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? But like they came to me as idea like that, because that's what happened was I woke up and I was like, I have an idea for a script. And then I started thinking it out and working through characters and like what would happen and all this shit.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
it just got my brain like fucking chugging along doing its creative thing. And then I was like, well, what do I do with this fucking new idea that I have? So
Right.
then I started looking at ways to get it figured out. And I was like, well, probably just fucking actually write it. So let's go to school and write this fucking script. So basically, like my idea, I don't even care what the school project is. My project is to fucking write my two of the three scripts that I have, and just submit those to fucking CBC. Like
I don't even
whatever
care
else
what
you
the
want me to
school
do.
project is. I'm just gonna do my own thing.
Well, like no, like you know what I mean. Like I'm gonna hand in the school projects and everything, but like those aren't my pad. Like I'm just gonna do whatever
Yeah.
the teacher like. Oh, you need me to learn this new like script prose? Okay, fine, I'll do the project for you. But the real reason I'm learning this is so that I can write my fucking script with this script prose. I don't give a fuck about like the project that's due on Tuesday. This information is going to make my actual script worthwhile when I submit it at the end of the fucking year.
Sure, yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, but
that's
that's you just explained like the process of going to school for sure.
yeah,
That's exactly what
exactly.
it is.
Like
You go and learn stuff so that you can apply it to the thing you want to do.
yeah, like
So I think you'll be
that's
fine.
exactly like sort of what I was. I haven't ever been to college, but like my idea was thinking about it like in what I know with people who are like, oh yeah, at the end of the year, like I have to write my fucking whatever exam and basically utilize it to
Yeah.
like write an article on this. And I was like, okay, well, obviously the final project is going to be hand in a fucking script. So like I already have the whole idea. I have everything laid out. I got characters and names and fucking whatever. So I just
Yeah.
have to use whatever they've told me to write it properly and get it picked up by a network, like how to put that into my idea that I've already had.
Yeah.
Hopefully have a project. So it's something that's keeping me going and getting me excited and been like, you know what? Fuck COVID, man. This is actually gonna be something that's cool, hopefully.
You know what? Fuck COVID, man. That's the most Albertan you've sounded to me in a while. I was just thinking, you know what? Fuck COVID, man. Fuck it, dude.
Which also that was basically my whole application, by the way.
Fuck it, man.
Yeah, my whole well, not what you said, what I said.
Yeah.
But even yeah, I basically was like, I was just like, yeah, COVID's stupid, and so I needed something else to do because comedy hit the fucking rails, and I have these ideas for scripts that I know that I'm not writing them properly, so I figured I might as well fucking learn how to write these properly. So please let me into your class. And the lady was like, well, you don't technically meet the academic requirements, but I like what I see, so no pressure, but you're in.
Nice. That's probably the first time ever that sending a dick pic to the dean of a university has worked.
Yeah. The only
I like what I
time
see.
ever.
I like what I see.
I like what I see. You're in.
You're in, buddy. You don't meet the academic requirements, but fuck. Well, I got a requirement
Wow,
you can.
like,
Beautiful.
I can meet a couple of your requirements. All right.
That's amazing, man. That's great news. It's
Yeah,
great fucking news,
thank you
bro.
for ridiculing the most exciting event in my life in a year, James. I'm just kidding.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I've been reminiscing lately on all the stuff that COVID like made me miss out on, and it's been fun. Now that, because here's the thing, this is what I do as a for my own mental health. It's probably not healthy, and I'm sure if I ever talk to any kind of professional, they'd tell me to deal with it way better than this. But what I do is I keep it all down for the whole time that it's happening. And then as soon as things start looking up, I just unpack all the baggage at once.
Oh.
Yeah. So I've just been trying to be happy-go-lucky and living my whole life through this pandemic thing, being like, you know what, I'll go to the old fucking Mrs. Lube and, you know, work a shift or two. And then the school thing happened, and then I booked like this little tour, and I was like, now all of it's awesome. And I'm looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, remember how I should have been living in Toronto right now? Like I had a tour with the club that like the club in Toronto. I was supposed to go to all their Ontario shit, and I was supposed to be like have done all the major clubs in Toronto and have friends who run like most of the major nights there and already have an album out and be living in like the biggest entertainment city in the fucking whole country. But because this fucking disease, I didn't get to do that. You guys remember that? That was nice.
Yeah.
So that'll happen this week in my head. It had been laying dormant. Oh, and I had a girlfriend at the beginning of this.
So did I. That part sucks.
Nice. Yeah.
Couple of casualties of the old quarantine. Yeah, that blows. Being dating someone for like during the start of it, and then getting broken up with during the pandemic was the worst. Like you're just like, oh well, now what do I like? I just gotta sit around because there's nothing to do most of the time. And you're just like, oh my god.
Yeah, well, and I don't know how personal I want to get on this podcast, but me and this girl already had broken up and gotten back together and like rearranged our living situations and all that. So like it was a really weird where I was like, well, but is this just because this wasn't how this was supposed to go? Like, if it wasn't for the whole pandemic, then we wouldn't. All the things we're fighting about wouldn't even exist.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure, actually, it's a good point. I'm sure a lot of people are
maybe
like,
not.
You can almost look back and say, like, I wonder if the pandemic didn't happen, if like, things would be different for sure. Because like it shook up everyone's life, right?
Yeah. Well, and we'd gotten back together like 2 months before the pandemic. Like it's not like we'd been seeing each other for a long time or whatever. It was like we'd taken a break and then just gotten back together. And then it was like, well, now shit. We both just lost our jobs, like all of our jobs.
Yeah.
So
it certainly changed things.
Yeah, it was very strange. And like, things. Because me and her roommate were all in the service industry. And then I was doing comedy. And so it was like, we were doing late nights and I was on the road all the time and stuff. And then all of a sudden it was just like we were at home and we were just waiting for government checks.
Yeah. And that's about it.
Nice.
Hey, that pretty much explains it.
Yeah. So we tried.
Yeah.
But.
And then like, what I wonder about like relationships is like, okay, say by the fall everyone's vaccinated or whatever, like how is everything kind of on hold until then, or do you just like risk it for the biscuit, I guess, while you're all waiting for it?
I don't know. My buddy was supposed to get married. I feel bad for all those people, like the wedding people.
Oh yeah. I was talking to someone about that who had to postpone theirs today. Yeah,
and he was destination wedding, so we're now getting like the deposit, or getting everything back. But it was like, we tried to reschedule it for this year, and then we were thinking about doing it for next year, but then a whole bunch of people couldn't come, and then the travel agent, and then the fucking resort, and the van, and so like they had to just like basically be like, okay, well, we did plan like the wedding we'd been talking about for the whole time we'd been dating each other, but I guess we'll just go to the mountains instead.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because right now a lot of people, I think, maybe are being like presented with with the reality that like, because a lot of people are like, okay, we'll just have our like a little ceremony, and then when everything's fine again, we'll have a party, and we'll just rent out. But to me, that like really that really tells you what it's all about. It's all of like you're basically. You don't even need to be getting married. You're renting out a hall and catering a dinner for a bunch of people.
Yeah.
For a big party.
It's party. Yeah.
Like 20 grand or something just to like throw a ball and party. Like that kind of makes
I've been fucking screaming that since I was 16 years old.
Yeah, but
it's all just a big sham. It's all a party. Why is the photographer cost $4,000 Just bro, I can book that same dude to do my headshots for $115 this weekend because he ain't got nothing else going on because it's not wedding season.
Well, that's what people should start doing though. Is like, yo, this isn't a wedding reception that we're throwing. This is a party. This is just like this is our anniversary party, dog. Like, you can't charge me $4,000 for the photography.
Yeah, like how much is it to rent a DJ to come to your house and spin some tunes?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not as much as a fucking wedding DJ. I can promise you that much.
It's great. Yeah, it's great. I just feel like it stands out more than ever before that, like, the actual wedding part and the part that where the two people get married and, you know, no one, like, that's not the important part of a wedding. The important part is the big dinner and drink part.
Yeah, we've come so distant from what, like, the original meaning of what a wedding was and what marriage was. Like, the white dress is supposed to mean she's a virgin.
Gross.
Yeah, you're in your fourth marriage.
Yeah. But also, like,
quit wearing white then.
Yeah. What color?
Yeah.
What color should you wear if you've to show the varying degrees of, like, been out there-ness? It should be a color code.
It's the same as Taekwondo. Just don't
get different belts. I like it.
Please.
I like it.
Just don't get the black dress.
Don't get the black dress. That's right. Is that a double black dress?
Fourth Dan or whatever it's called. Dan.
No idea.
Dawn. I probably so far off. I probably sound so horrible.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I feel bad for people in that situation, but also, like,
totally.
I feel bad. It's funny now because they're faced with the reality of, like, okay, well, how long do we stay off, like, all the stuff that we were planning? Like, okay, we're gonna get married, and then, like, we'll get this, and then we'll have the dog, and then the kid, and now it's been like a year and a half, and they're like, okay, well, we're supposed to be on kid by now, so
yeah. You know what I'm wondering?
Just wedding.
Just thinking about it right now, like, I wonder if there's a lot of people who were like, okay, we've saved up 20 G's for this wedding, and then they weren't able to have the wedding that they wanted, and then they're just like, yo, we have $20,000 that we almost just blew on one day. I wonder if anyone had that realization of just like, yo, we could either have this $20,000 or we could blow it on February 12th of next year.
Yeah, now that everything's canceled and they got all of their little deposits that they'd paid over time back in the one large lump sum, they're just like,
I wonder if you were like, you know, you went to a wedding that you knew cost like whatever, $20,000, $30,000. And then you were like, okay, here's the thing. You can either have that or I'll give you that money right now. You can have the money. Like, if like after the day is over, like, was it worth it? I mean, most people would probably say yes, but oh man, if I was confronted with that, I would be like, give me the money. Oh, I think you're frozen, Alex. Yeah. Are you there still? Oh boy, what's our podcast become? It says my connection's unstable, but how could that be? I see you again. I see you again. Yes.
Yeah, I got most of that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, believe me, I'm not the one I've been, again, saying this since I was 16. I was like, bro, you're spending $20,000 on a party. Like, let's just keep the $20,000. Let's just get common law married and have a big party with a bowl full of Doritos and everyone can drink Kokanees all night. I don't give a shit.
Dude, the part where you get married is not the expensive part. Like, you can still get married. You just sign a piece of paper or whatever. You know what? Now that I think about that, that did happen to me where we were saving up for a wedding and the girl broke it off. But then I still had some of the money and I was like, yeah, it's like getting a severance check from work. You get fired and they're like, here's a severance check. And you're like, well, that sucks. I'm fired. But like, okay. First time I ever got a severance check from work, I was like, yo, this is all right.
Decent.
Like,
yeah, we were talking about that. when we were coming back from snowboarding, my buddy got fired. I was saying he's lifty. Fuck, maybe I shouldn't tell the story because I thought. Anyway, he got dismissed for like an unfair reason. It was like an appearance related reason.
Oh,
And so they just like gave him like 6 months pay. And he was like,
yeah, I'll take that.
all right.
I'll take
Like,
that.
I mean, I'm still upset about the reason you fired me for, but nice.
Yeah. Throw in like a season's pass and we're good.
Yeah, like get Sean White to sign something and I'm in.
Damn.
Are we at 40 minutes yet? It feels like it's been 40.
We're pretty much there. We're pretty much there.
Right
Should we
on.
say goodbye to the people?
Yeah, my connection just slowed up and you paused again, so I figure it's about time to wrap her up before we get shut down.
All right. Tell people where to find you.
ComedyAF.com or in Gatineau, Quebec.
Gatineau, Québec. Tout le monde, qu'est-ce que c'est? Salle de bain.
Yeah. Everybody, what is bathroom? Indeed.
I love talking nonsense in French. or just saying the few phrases I remember from school. Est-ce que je peux aller à la salle de bain, s'il vous plaît?
Puis-je aller à la toilette?
Yeah, and people
so
can
funny.
find us at Yeg Podcast.
Hold on, I want to get now that you
Yes.
said that I want to get. So that's hilarious. That just showed me like how French of a school I went to, because I went to that thing that is like now a meme where the teacher's like, "Can I go to the bathroom?" It's like, "I don't know, can you?"
Oh, buddy, I fucking hated that. I had teachers that did that. And I'm like,
Bro, I had that in French. If I said, "Est-ce que je peux aller à la salle de bain?" they would be like, "Est-ce que tu peux? Je sais
Really?
pas." Yeah, it's "Puis-je aller à la toilette, s'il vous plaît?"
oh my God, no way. My
That's
whole
may I
life
go
is a
to,
lie.
may I go to the washroom? Yeah. Puis-je aller à la toilette?
Oh, damn. That's
Is
one of
the
those things
formal
I always
term.
wish as an adult I could go back to like grade 5 or whatever when I'm like, oh, can I go to the bathroom? I don't know. Can you? And be like, and just like take a leak in the garbage can. Like, I don't know. Can I? Let's see.
Like I
was
know
just
where.
like-
Yeah.
Why are you out here talking to kids like that? That's so
to
funny
this
that there's
day-
a French version. Oh,
Yeah. To this day, I still think teachers are losers because of the way teachers treated me. I'm like, they're all losers. And now as an adult, it's just proof. Like everyone who I ever thought was a loser is now like, I'm teaching English class. And I'm like, whatever, Steve McGovern. I'm just kidding. Steve's dope. I like Steve. I do like Steve. I'm just kidding.
oh, this is an extension of a football beef. Everybody,
Yeah.
steer clear. Steer clear.